Hey guys, how's it going? I was driving down the road and this on the side of the road had a free sign on it, and that's what it is. A nail gun, gas powered nail gun. Looks like propane. And I did figure out why it was free. And we'll get into that in a minute. But it looks really clean, has some nails with it. A bunch of, you want to call it a brad nailer. Somewhere in between there as far as size. Got a propane cylinder for it right there. And we got glasses, looks like never came out of the case. What's in here? What is that? A muffler? Anyway, let's start getting into it and see what makes it tick and what was wrong with it and why it was free on the side of the road. Alright, so go put some fuel in it and we'll see how this works for us. I believe that's going to probably go in that direction, and that thing that we call the muffler, I believe is probably going to tap into the back side here. There we go. Let's I don't know if it's going to do anything. Let's go shove it into a piece of wood. See what happens. Right, let's see if there's anything to it. So there's an issue. It has no propane. And when I went to find out about the cartridges that are in it, that comes out. There you go. So I went to go find these cartridges and they are not available. You cannot get them. So that's why I got thrown out. They no longer make the fuel cells that power the gun. Having said that, I went and tried to find something else that was fairly close to what that was, and what I came up with that is still available is that. Problem is the body of it is going to be that much longer, so I'm not sure how we're going to try to make out trying to get one of those to fit on there unless we have the capacity. Maybe we can just back charging this to see if we can get it to take a fill. I'm not quite sure how that would work, but this is about the same diameter. I don't know if we can, and what's that going to do for us? Not much. So I think we have to kind of stick with the original cartridge, but if there's a way that we could possibly backfill into this that may be able to save it. If not, we're just going to take it apart and figure out what makes it tick. So I just twisted off that little plastic cap that was on there, and that's the point that's sticking out. I don't know if we can be that lucky that we can kind of force feed it. Let's go see what happens. It's probably going to make my hands really cold. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to... Problem is, there's probably a valve that's in here that we're not overcoming, but I'm going to give it a second. You would think that you would feel it getting cold if there was a transfer. Yeah, but I'm not feeling anything. Actually, it might have taken a little. Let's go try it. Let's put it back in the gun, see what happens. I don't know if there's any other on-off valve. That might be a bit right there. I'm not getting any... Looking at what the trigger says there. Unlocked. There it goes. Alright. So we got something. I don't know if that's going to be a long-lasting setup for the fill. Let's go lock that. Get that back out of here. It'd be nice if we had like a scale or something that we were able to measure how heavy this is getting. I'm going to go try that for a little bit longer, see if we can get a better fill out of that cartridge. You could probably make like a coupler or something maybe. I'm going to try and listen to it. very faint pitch of it possibly doing something. Which would we think would be the best way to fill it like that? That would probably be more liquid, right? Where the other way would be just gas. I wonder if there's a tube inside there. Yeah, it definitely got a little bit heavier. Must be doing something. Yeah, listen to it real close, and it does seem like it is filling it. I wonder if we can get something with a larger reservoir to fill these up with. And it would also be good too if you can find another couple of empties of these and you can do the same. I don't know how many nails you get out of one of these, but having said that, we got it for free. Let's go take it apart and see what makes it tick. I'd be interested to find out too. It's got a clip in the front. Should be for maybe releasing the magazine. I'm not sure of that. There we go. And allow the nails to come out of it. Let's take the heel end apart first. Looks like we got to take this off before we can split the case of it. Let's get this off of it. Let's not read the instructions because it's going to tell us not to go in there, but we're going in anyway. Yeah, unfortunately, I think that's the downfall of a lot of tools is that if they don't support them anymore, what do you do? And then at that point, it's junk, you know? I can imagine if, like, the cordless tools stop making batteries for them. And everything's junk. You can't get any more. What do you think is in here? I would think there'd be like some kind of like a recoil spring. Let's go see if it wants to push away when I'm taking the last one out. Yeah. Well, that looks cool. Looks like it's got a little spark plug. It just like lights a chamber on fire. If we take that out there. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's got a little spark plug wire. Plug is probably in there. Let's what do you want to do next? Want to split the case? Can we unbolt this part of it first? And you got a bolt there. And it looks like two right here. So let's get these two out and see if we can get this up off out of our way. Where are we? We got this post right here. It's gonna need some vice grips. It's turning on us. It looks like it's got a little that might be a shock absorber. Just the way this, yeah, so that's all that is. It's a guide for left or right. Let's, you're gonna have to get that off of there, wherever that is. I don't see access to it, to you. Yeah, that's not a bolt. It's captured inside of this. Can we, I wonder if we pull that out of there, we'll allow it to come off of this side. Let's keep picking away. All right, we got two bolts in the top here. That just came right out of there. Must be like a trigger to hold it open. Let's see if I can get it off of the body. See anything else holding it? I would think it would just pull straight out. Yeah. It's got a rubber boot on it. Well, that's disconnected. Let's split the body of it open and see if it'll go with it. So we're going to need a little smaller size. We'll take these off so you can get the side of the case to open up. Let's crack her open. I have a feeling this this lock might be holding us up. Let's see. Yeah, that lock has to be able to come out of there. Let's grab a little screwdriver. I think these tabs has to get pulled down past these levers, and it'll allow it to come out of the track. See if we can get them past that. Okay. And one side. There we go. Okay, that's out of there. Now let's see if we can crack it open. See what we got. Bunch of linkages. There's the fuel rod going up to the combustion chamber. Not quite sure what this is. Maybe it's like a little fuel capacity, like a metered amount of fuel. What do you think that is? See the hoses coming off of it? Yeah, so it goes into the combustion chamber, and then this one is kind of like a gas grill. It looks like when you pull that trigger, it makes a momentary spark that runs up to the spark plug. That's what we got. I don't know what that is. That might just be a bushing of sorts. Anything on the back side of the cover that can tell us anything? Nah, just gonna hold everything in place. Alright, so it's gonna blow up in my face. So it won't let it go because that safety rod is probably a safety rod that pushes this forward, unlocks this lock. What do you think? Up? Looks like it's got a little valve right there that has to get pushed down to allow the fuel to go in. Problem is nothing supported. So there you go. Yeah, so that's what that does. You push it down, it allows probably a metered amount, whatever this little combustion chamber is right here, to fill into the piston part of it. All right, what else can we take off? Let's take the trigger off. Get that out of our way. Can we lift this whole thing up? You're remembering how this goes, right? Let's get that spring out of there. Alright. So we can lift that right out of there. Let me pop you in the stand so I have two hands to work with. Alright. So what else can we take off? I wonder, I don't know if this case splits or not. I'd like to get some of this out of it. We could probably work this out of here. And then we have the fuel system. Let's get rid of the spring. The held tension for the lever. Let's get rid of that. Let's get the fuel rod off of there. There we go. And this has the heavier hose going into the combustion chamber. Yeah. That's cracking on us. There you go. You can wiggle that out of our way. Yeah. That's my guess, like a little reservoir, and then that's the valve right there to let it allow so much fuel in at a time. Huh. Alright, now we should be able to get that. We have room to get the spark plug out. The coil. That's probably what we should call it. And that fuel line's still in the way. Let's go and see. I'd like to get into that combustion chamber and just kind of see what the piston and setup looks like. So let's get these 4 out of it and see if we can pull the back side of the, I'm going to call it the engine, and see what that looks like. Looks like it's got little intake valves right there and there. And again, probably like what you see inside a gas grill, the little arc piece going across. Let's go find out. I popped it inside the vise so it's not flopping all over the place. Let's grab the right side down, wrench. Kind of wonder if it's made in USA because the hardware is not metric. Oh, it's Porter Cable, US, or was when this was made. I see a ground wire going down too, so that must be the other side of it. Right, not screw that we're taking off right now. There's a ground wire. Feels like the bolts got Loctite on them. Got drag coming all the way out. Yeah, they got Loctite on them. Alright, what do you think we're going to see inside? Think it's going to be like a piston with rings and all that, or you think it's just going to be like a bore with a like a piston plug? I'm going to guess it has rings. Let's go find out. Could be none of the above too. Alright, what a weird, yeah, look at that. So that must be the intake. Where would the exhaust blow out? So it sucks air in through there, and how would that spark, like what would cause, where would the spark jump? Is it underneath here and it lights through those holes? Is it right there? And they got it pinned together too, like it's got a rivet in the center that we can't take apart. Let's keep looking. Well, let's see if this whole thing comes out. There you go. That was going to allow us to keep coming out. Yeah, the front of it's holding it. Let's get the coil, so to speak, out of our way. Alright, so the front of that assembly still has to come out of our way. We can get the rest of it out of there. We can kind of see what the piston looks like. Let's go flip it around, look at the other end. And so somehow we got to get this assembly off of here. Now, I'm not sure how it's keyed to it. I think we just keep taking bolts off till it falls apart, right? Let's go get that one out of there. We'll see what that's holding in place. Excuse you. Let's see anything that, it's got to be something underneath here, right? That's got it. Pull down. I just wonder if, like, where that hammer is, you can see, like, that's what drives the nail right there, that little pin. The nail sitting here in the magazine, it just fires it forward. But I wonder if it's got like a shoulder. See how the shoulder is on that side? I wonder if it has the same shoulder on the other side and it just does not allow it to come all the way forward and out. Seems like that's the only thing that's holding it. There's a pin, a dowel pin in there. Let's try driving that dowel pin out. You see it? Right? Right there. Let's try tapping that pin out. See if we can get this out of our way and see if it'll allow this to come and give us some room. We're going to have to support this a little bit better, but let's see what we get. Might be a little too bouncy, you know. That's going. Sure I don't lose it. Got it. See if that did anything for us. Probably not. Alright, let's go bend it towards us again. Yeah, it does have that shoulder I was talking about, but I don't know if that's how that's going to help us to get it apart. How about that? Now we can push it forward, right? Get it off. There we go. Figuring her out. Let's get rid of that's probably a dampener for the return. Can we get through that? Get through that. That little piece of rubber is what's holding us. Now that I ran it down into the cavity, right? Come on out. There you go. Now we'll come out. There we go. There's the spring I was thinking of for the return. Let's go lay this out on a bench. We'll go take a look. Pull the other side of it off. I have to back you up. Here's the other side. Let's go pull that off. I would think that piston would come out of there now, right? That's connected to that rod. Think it has rings? I wonder if it maybe O-rings. Yeah, this is rubber. Is that rubber? You think the temperature would kind of get it, but maybe it's so quick it doesn't. Like a regular engine where it's firing all the time, right? Oh, funky setup. Let me see if we can go lay it out on the bench in an exploded view. Put the pieces back together. I probably should have laid it out the other way because you can't see the insides of that, but you get the idea. So you hit a trigger. It allows this valve to open. The propane is allowed to fill through. My guess is maybe this is like what meters how much fuel goes in. It seems like it's kind of heavy duty for what it is, right? Meters how much fuel goes in and allows it to go up to this chamber valve. That's what we'll call that, a valve. And then when you hit the trigger, it allows this amount of fuel. Actually, it's not even a trigger. I think it's when you, it might be when you bottom out the gun and release. I'm not sure of that. What fires that valve? It's either the trigger or the motion of pushing on the nose cone with the rod that went through the center of it. We have a rod that went down through the middle that kind of fired it. Might be this one right here we're talking about. So that would allow so much gas to go into this combustion chamber that has this piston sitting inside it. This goes, all this gets collapsed. This sticks out the front. This actually drives the nail into the wood so that you can make it all the way out and push on a nail each time. And actually it's going to be the other way around, right? It's going to be in the top here. It's going to catch a nail, drive that nail, and return. When you hit a trigger, the spark plug goes. That ignites that fuel. That starts that whole process moving on. Pretty neat setup. Not quite sure how a battery one would be set up with this, but you know, having no power in the system, only using fuel, again, the only power is probably the little charge that you get. I said, like when you light your gas grill, kind of the same idea. It's a little igniter. I wonder if we put this in the dark, we can actually see where it lights. But I would say looks like fuel is coming in on that hole right there. And whatever the baffle is going around. And I do see those two little ports. Let's go push on those real quick and see if they move. My guess is these are like little reed valves. Yeah, they're like little valves that's probably where the air charge comes in. And as far as the exhaust, I'm not sure where it would exhaust and reset itself. Maybe right there. There's another valve right there, looks like. Yeah. So maybe it exits right there. I don't know if you would oil that bore. I wouldn't think so. You got two more screws you could take apart and get to those valves. We're not going to bother though. All right, that's what's inside a free nail gun that you can no longer get cartridges for. What's your thoughts? You think I can put it back together? I'm going to go do lunch first, and I'm going to come back. And I'm not going to take you along for the journey unless I screw something up, and we'll see if it still works. Wish me luck. Over under. I'm going to give myself a 60% success rate. Let's see how that holds out. I don't think I have any parts left over. Let's see if we can load it up. What are we doing here? Something like that? Let's see. That feels weird. Feels like something should be holding it in its track. Maybe it's just me. Let's see what happens. Think that's right? Whoops. We may want to close up the front of it first. There we go. Yeah, that's why it felt weird. Let's try that again. Nails in. That's a little better. All right, let's go get a piece of wood. See if she does anything. What's your thoughts? Nothing. Do we have to like prime it a couple times? I know it said something about... Let's give it another shot. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, I think it just had to prime itself for fuel. Fill up the chambers. Huh. You gotta let it come back every time. Not bad. If it had cartridges. And we got to work again. That's a good sign. You can smell. Smells pretty good. Smells like... I don't know who's going to relate. Like Cox airplanes, the old gas-powered 049 engines that you would fire up. It has that smell to it. That works out pretty good. Yeah, so if any of you happen to find where those cartridges are available, or if there's a replacement for it, I don't think so. Like I want even just the blank cartridges. It seemed like they were selling for like 50 bucks a piece, and my guess is to try to backfill them is what the purpose was. But here's the problem. If you're trying to use something like this, you're only going to get that cartridge half full, because once the pressure of the two of them equalize out, you're never going to get the rest of it out of here, and you know that one's only getting half charged up. So what's the solution? I don't know, but I enjoyed myself taking it apart and just kind of see how it functioned on the inside of it. So I will throw that back in its case, and if I happen to come up with a solution, or someone in the comments comes up with a solution that is better than doing what I did, which is kind of backfeeding it with one of these. Well, I don't even know how long that would last, but it just seems like a waste, right? Say, let's just make up a number. Say that this is at 150 psi, and that cartridge is empty. Both cartridges go to 75 psi, and that's the most you can get out of it. Actually, because when that cartridge goes empty, this still has 75 pounds in it. It's going to keep doing the same thing. So now they're both going to equalize at 35 pounds, right? Something like that. 32 and a half. It's math. Get me involved in math. All right, guys. With that, I want to thank you all for hanging out with me and having a little fun. Take a free junk on the side of the road apart. And hopefully we'll do it again sometime soon. Till then, I'll see you later. Okay, how many of you were commenting that nails weren't coming out when I was driving it? It wasn't. But it is now.